Get started with this video, let me just say this. On June 2nd, 2012, we lost a great game show host, Richard Dawson. So today, I'm going to read you the life and legacy of Richard Dawson. Enjoy. Richard Dawson, born Colin Lionel M. on November 20th, 1932 to June 2nd, 2012, was an English-American actor, comedian, and a game show host and a panelist in the United States. Dawson was well known for playing Corporal Peter Newcook on Hogan's Heroes, being the original host of The Family Feud from 1976 to 1985 and from 1994 to 1995, and a regular panelist on the 1970s version of Match Game on CBS from 1973 to 1978. After a successful career in British television and cinema, Richard Dawson moved to Los Angeles. In 1984, he became an American citizen while retaining his British citizenship. In 2012, Richard Dawson died of complications from esophageal cancer, throat cancer. He is buried at Westwood Memorial Park in Los Angeles. And now I'm going to talk to everybody on YouTube about his early life. So here we go. Richard Dawson was born in Gosport, Hampshire, England on November 20th, 1932 to Arthur and Josephine M. At the age of 14, he ran away from home to join the Merchant Marine, where he pursued a boxing career. After his discharge, he pursued a comedy career using the stage name Dickie Dawson. When he reached adulthood, he revised this to become Richard Dawson. This name he would later officially legalize. Now we're going to talk about Richard Dawson's acting career. On January 8th, 1963, Richard Dawson appeared in an episode of the Jack Benny program, Season 13, Episode 15. Dawson is the audience member sitting next to Jack, almost unrecognizable because of the glasses and fake mustache. In 1963, Richard Dawson appeared in the episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show in the role of dapper entertainer Racy Tracy. I can't read that, so skip that. In 1964, he appeared in the episode of The Outer Limits, titled The Invisibles. He played a soldier in the 1962 film The Longest Day. In 1965, Dawson had a small role at the end of the film King Rat, starring George Segal, playing First Recon Trooper Captain Weaver, sent to liberate Alley Pals in a Japanese prison. Dawson had then moved to Los Angeles, California, where he gained fame in television show Hogan's Heroes as Corporal Peter Newcook from 1965 to 1971. He had a minor role in Universal's Monster Go Home. A year later, Dawson released a psychedelic 45 RPM single, including his songs His Children's Parade and Apples and Oranges on Carnation Records. In 1968, Dawson was in the film The Devil's Brigade as Private Hugh McDonald following the cancellation of Hogan's Heroes. He was a regular joke-telling panelist on the short-lived syndicated revival of the game show Can You Top This in 1970, alongside many other comedians such as Maury Amsterdam and Jack Carter. He was also a regular on Rorian and I'll just say Laugh-In from 1971 to 1973. And he became a regular on the new Dick Van Dyke Show from 1973 to 1974. He portrayed a theater director in the first season of McCloud and was a panelist on the 1972 to 1973 syndicated revival of I've Got a Secret. He played himself in a guest appearance on The Odd Couple as a former Army pal of Felix. Now we're going to talk about game show hosting. After Laugh-In left the airwaves in 1973, game show pioneer Mark Goodson signed Richard Dawson to appear as a regular on Match Game 73 alongside Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Riley, and host Gene Rayburn. Richard Dawson, who had already served a year as panelist for Goodson's revival of I Got a Secret, proved to be a solid and funny game player and was frequent choice of contestants for the head-to-head match, portions of the show's Super Match bonus round, in which, after winning prize money in the audience match portion, the contestant and Dawson or any celebrity the contestant choose had obtained to the exact match to the request fill in the blank. During his time on Match Game, he would occupy the bottom center seat. He later hosted a one-year season syndicated revival of Masquerade Party in 1974. The program featured regular panelists Bill Bixby, Lee Merriweather, and Nipsey Russell. The program was not renewed for a second season. In 1975, during his tenure as one of Match Game's regular panelists, Richard Dawson was hired by Mark Goodson to host an upcoming project titled Family Feud, which debuted on July 12, 1976 on ABC's daytime schedule. Family Feud was a breakout hit, eventually surprised the ratings of Match Game in late 1977. In 1978, he left Match Game and won a Daytime Emmy Award for Best Game Show Host for his work on Family Feud. One of his trademarks, kissing all the female contestants, was one of the things that made the show appear to be a warm and friendly program, and he soon garnered the nickname the Kissing Bandit. On the 1985 finale, Richard Dawson explained that he kissed contestants for love and luck, something his mother did with Dawson himself as a child. In 1983, Richard Dawson made an appearance on Mama's Family as himself, hosting an episode of Family Feud where the Harpers play as contestants. After Dawson became naturalized citizen of the United States in 1984, he proudly showed his passport and photo during the introduction of an episode of Family Feud. He continued hosting the feud until both editions were canceled. The syndicated version ended on May 17, 1985, and the ABC daytime edition on June 14, 1985. Now we're going to talk about his later career. Richard Dawson parodied his TV persona in the 1987 by co-starring alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger in the action film The Running Man, in which he portrayed the evil game show host Damon Killian. Of Dawson's performance, film critic Roger Ebert wrote, "Playing a character who seems three-quarters drunk, Dawson chain smokes his way through backstage planning sessions and then pops out in front of the cameras as Cauldron of false jewelry, working the audience, milking with the laughs and the tears. He's not really much different than most genuine game show hosts, and that's the film's private joke." Richard Dawson hosted an unsold pilot for a revival of the classic game show You Bet Your Life that was to air on NBC in 1988, but the network declined to pick up the show, which would go on to attempt two more failed revivals, host Bobby Hackett and Bill Cosby. On September 12, 1994, Richard Dawson returned to the syndication edition of Family Feud, replacing and succeeding Ray Combs for what became the final season of the show's official second run, 1988 through 1995. Upon Richard Dawson's return, he received a 25-second standing ovation where he walked on the set. Afterwards, he says, "If you do too much of that, I won't be able to do a show for you because I'll cry." During the 1994 revival, he did not kiss the female contestants because of a commitment that he made to his young daughter. He would only to kiss her mother. The final episode aired on May 26, 1995, after which Richard Dawson officially retired. In 1999, he was asked to make a special appearance on the Louis Anderson version of Family Feud, but he decided to turn down the offer and have no further involvement with the show. In 2000, Richard Dawson narrated TV's funniest game show moments on the Fox network. Now we're going to talk about personal life and family. Upon retiring, Richard Dawson took up residence Beverly Hills, California, with his wife since 1991. The former Gretchen Johnson, who he had met when she was one of the contestants' families on Family Feud in the spring of 1981. They had a daughter named Shannon Nicole Dawson. Dawson announced this and showed a picture of his daughter in the first episode of his return to the 1994 version of the feud, as he was greeting one of the contestants, who happened to be a former contestant of his while he was a panelist on Match Game. The episode was featured on the 25th anniversary of Family Feud as number 14 on the Game Show Network's Top 25 Feud Moments. He had two sons, Mark Dawson, born in 1960, and Gary Dawson from his first marriage to British actress Diana Dawes, which ended in divorce. Dawson gained custody of both sons. He had 4 grandchildren. Now we're going to talk about his passing. On June 2nd, 2012, Richard Dawson died at the age of 79 from complications of esophageal cancer at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. On June 2nd, 2012, Game Show Network aired a 4-hour special showing some of Richard Dawson's greatest moments on Family Feud and Match Game, including the first episode of Dawson's return from 1994. Richard Dawson was buried at Westwood Memorial Park in Los Angeles. Well, that's going to be it for my Richard Dawson biography. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Grigor Bailey. I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace out, guys.